Hey y'all, I'm Val with Our Forever Farm. I'm up again today because of this little packet. So they got me on prednisone packet for the poison oak, and you can see a little bit here and there. It's so much better. I've been to the doctor twice. I got a shot and ointment, and it improved greatly, but it's not gone. Tonight I did get some sleep. So it's about 3 o'clock in the morning. I decided it was time to get up and get started. And I think what I'm gonna do, we did a broccoli and cheese soup yesterday. I have a chicken that I have thawing in the refrigerator, and I think I'm gonna spatchcock it today. I don't know if I'll do it on the grill or it's so cool. It might be nice to put it on the grill and do that. We love them done on the grill. But I'll go ahead and prepare it and see what Sweet Hunter wants to do. And I want to add carrots and potatoes with that. And what else I'm going to add to that? Oh, I want to make a broccoli casserole because I still have fresh broccoli. So today I'm just going to prepare the chicken and see what he wants to do when he wakes up. It takes a while if you want to smoke it on the grill. It's so good. And I want to do my broccoli casserole to go with that. That's what we're doing today. So as many of you know, this was filmed a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just now getting around to publishing it. We've had a lot going on. So here what I'm doing is I'm emptying my dishwasher, and you'll always see jars on my counter during canning season. I wash them and put them out and try to fill them. So I'm doing my laundry. This is all like early morning before Sweet Hunter gets up. But I wanted to share this meal with you because it's delicious. First thing I'm going to do is get this chicken out, and we're going to spatchcock it and get it ready to do either to cook in the oven or see if Sweet Hunter wants to smoke it after a while. Either way, I'll have it prepared and ready for him. We are very prepared on food, and that's something I've tried to encourage y'all. I've tried to encourage you to learn new skills. I try to learn new skills. But chicken is not something that I'm too prepared on. I think I have three whole chickens out in the freezer. I'm going to take it over to the sink, and I'm going to wash it, and then I'm going to get a pan, and I'm going to spatchcock it, and I'll show you how I do that. So the whole point of spatchcocking the chicken really is to reduce the cooking time. So what you're doing is splitting down the backbone. Some people remove it, some people don't. So all I'm doing here, so I've washed my chicken. I've washed it real good in the sink, and I put a paper towel back in the pan that it was in where it can drain all the fluid out. I checked inside to see if there was any necks or livers, and there was a liver and heart. That will be wonderful for broth. And I'll probably just throw it in this pan that I'm going to cook the chicken in. So what I'm going to do now, and I do change gloves a lot. I try to keep everything clean, and my gloves are usually sitting here when I'm in working mode. So what I'm doing here is just trying to dry off my chicken. And here is the heart and the liver that I'll just throw in here, and then anything left over will go in my broth. When I make broth, I'll just throw it back in the Ziploc bag, even after it's roasted or cooked. The leftovers, especially the backbone that we're gonna cut out, and any bones will go back in my chicken broth. You really wanna dry your chicken. You don't wanna steam it when you cook it. You want to roast it. That's what we're gonna do. So I am just doing it inside and out, and it's about ready to come onto the cutting board. And yes, I use the cutting board to cut my chicken, and then I will wash it really good. And I'm going to show you how I do this. Now again, I am no expert on all this stuff, but this is how Sweet Hunter's granny did stuff, and that's the way I do it. I'm going to remove these and get some clean ones and get started. So all I'm doing here is getting it ready to cut the backbone out or down the side. That's what I do. And juices are coming out, so I want it completely dry. Like I said, I do not want to steam it. I want to roast it. So as you can see, there's some fat and there's the tail. Normally I just cut that off, and you can put it in your freezer bag for broth. I started out with these scissors. My scissors are horrible, so that didn't work, so I ended up getting a knife. But what you're doing is you're cutting The knife didn't work either, but I got it done. What you're doing is you're cutting down the side of the backbone. You can cut on both sides of the backbone and take the backbone completely out if you want to. What I do is I cut down one side of it and I leave the backbone intact. But the whole point is to lay the chicken flat. So, and like I say, the backbone to me just will add flavor as you cook it. So I'm just cutting down one side of the backbone, and then I'm going to try to flatten out the chicken. As soon as I get it cut, I'll be trying to flatten out the chicken. Finally, I got that done. So when you open it up, you'll see that it's wet inside. Again, I do not want to steam my chicken. If I want to do that, I'll just boil it. So I just keep drying it and drying it. Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to get the chicken to lay flat. Now you'll see me have to try to break the breastbone, and that's what I do, is just push real hard on it and break the breastbone. I also break the legs and the wings, just trying to get it flat. That's the whole point, just trying to get it flat. Now, as I'm doing all this, you'll probably hear my guineas and chickens. They're up here close to the porch, and I've got the window open, so don't think nothing about that. But the whole point is to break that breastbone, break those leg bones, break the wings, and you got it laying flat. So to prepare this chicken, what I'm doing is I'm using, excuse me, my guineas are running wild. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a little olive oil in the pan. This is my Grandma Cochran's pan. My mom gave it to me way before she was sick. It's like a 14-inch pan, I believe. It's perfect for this. And then I just want to lay my chicken in there. I want to get olive oil on both sides. So I poured it in the pan, and now I'm pouring it over the chicken. And I'm just going to rub it all over the chicken. So the next thing I'm going to do is salt and pepper this real good, and I do want to salt and pepper it on both sides. So yes, I'm wearing more gloves. I know people are going to comment and say that's ridiculous, but I need to dry my hands more, that's for sure. I just want to salt and pepper it really good because he won't have to do that. And then I think he has his own special things that he likes to put on this chicken. This is just absolutely delicious. It's simple. You can, like, if it's just me and Sweet Hunter eating and nobody stops by or the kids don't come or anything, and we have a lot, you can eat on this for days. You can pull the chicken off and make chicken salad, make you a beautiful chicken salad out of it, or you can just eat it cold after it's spiced, after it's spatchcocked, not spiced. I got spice on my mind. And you can do all kinds of things with it. Like I say, you can use it in stews or dishes. I leave all the fat on that I can when I spatchcock a chicken, especially on the grill. It just comes to life. So this chicken is ready for Sweet Hunter. I've already got it in the pan, prepared, and I'm going to set it back in the refrigerator. I'm going to cover it and put it back in the refrigerator. It'll just kind of marinate in that olive oil, and then when he gets up and gets settled after his coffee and whatever he eats, see what he wants to do with that. But I like to prepare it. Sometimes I do that the night before, and he does like to cook it in a pan. He might sear it on the grill. Sometimes he does, sometimes he don't. If I'm cooking it inside, I'm putting carrots, potatoes, and probably broccoli in here. I usually would put cabbage. I love roasted cabbage. And I would put butter in it, which I probably will still put butter in it for the vegetables. But I've got broccoli and I don't have cabbage. Today we're cooking this. So I'm gonna get this covered and put back in the refrigerator. Remember, the only thing you do is break that backbone. You can cut the backbone completely out like some people do, or you can cook it in there. It makes for a good flavor. So either way, we're gonna have spatchcock chicken today. But to go with it, I have a lot of fresh broccoli. So next we're gonna make a broccoli casserole. It seems like I've talked a lot in this video, and I don't like to do that often, But even though I am a talker, and you are my unmet friends, so get talked to all the time. So there, I've got the chicken ready, and I'm gonna start working on the fresh broccoli that I've got to get used to it. I try to, everything I get on sale or everything I grow, I try to have a plan. And so we made the broccoli and cheese soup that was absolutely delicious. We've got 2 for the freezer. Today, for the weekend, it's spatchcock chicken, and I'm gonna make this broccoli casserole. I made my mayonnaise yesterday, my homemade mayonnaise to put in this broccoli casserole. It's gonna be really good. It'll be prepared. All we have to do is heat it up, warm it up. So this recipe is just a delicious broccoli and cheese casserole, and I love it. You can use fresh or frozen broccoli. So right now I'm chopping up my onion and I'm grating my cheese. You can use shredded cheese that you have already, and I am doubling the recipe so it'll look like more, but the recipe will be in the description box. Okay, this is a broccoli casserole that you don't have to do the crackers on it on top if you want. I love that, but I'm out of crackers. We're gonna make crackers one day. So I got the Big Daddy bowl out, and I'm gonna follow my recipe. I will be doubling this recipe. I'm gonna be cooking it in 1 or 2 of these 9x13 pans according to how much I need. And then once I cook it and we eat it, then I'm gonna put it in freezer containers and label it where I can pull out just enough for us 2 or 3 people. And so the first thing I've done is I've gathered all my ingredients. So it calls for frozen broccoli. I love fresh. It calls for paprika. It calls for salt and pepper. Mayonnaise. I made my mayonnaise yesterday. You don't have to make homemade mayonnaise. I just wanted to. And it calls for cream of mushroom. Let's see. It calls for cream of mushroom soup. And I don't have any of that. And I used all my mushrooms. What did I use my mushrooms for? I cooked something this week that had mushrooms in it. It was delicious, I can tell you that. But so I can't make the cream of anything and add my mushrooms because I don't have it. Cream of chicken soup will work fine. And some people don't like cream of mushroom soup. It calls for eggs, and I've beaten them. I am doubling this recipe if I didn't say that. It calls for, let's see, it calls for 3 10-ounce packages of frozen broccoli. I'm just gonna chop those up and guess at that because I want it mostly broccoli. If I need more of the ingredients, if I see I need to use this bowl of broccoli today. It's 5:25. Sweet Hunter will be up probably in about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and I want to have this part done before I start breakfast and then start. We don't usually eat a big breakfast, but he will eat something sweet, and 10 or 11 I'll cook him some eggs or something, just something substantial because he works out hard outside so hard, and I'm working hard all the time, so we both need some, good food. We'll fix some eggs, an omelet, something like that. An omelet will be good for him today, and I'll use that homemade bread. I've got 2 more pieces of it, and I'll use that for our toast. He loves the bread. So I'm gonna preheat my oven to 350. That's cream of potato soup. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that'd probably be good too. Yeah, let's just go ahead and use it. So I got cream of chicken soup and cream of potato soup. I thought that was cream of chicken soup too. Use what you have, y'all. That's what I do. And I'm gonna take my soups and just put them in this big bowl. This bowl may be too big for this, but I wanted to make sure I have plenty of room. One day we'll make our cream of anything soup. I like to have the powder on my shelf where I can just throw it together really, really quick. We're gonna do a lot in the winter, mixing spices, and I've got my new shelves. I've been working on those, but I'll mix my spices together and do things like that when we get everything together. Right. So remember, I am doubling this recipe, so I'm gonna add my mayonnaise. If you haven't tried homemade mayonnaise, it's so easy, and we like it better. I don't say I make it all the time, but when we get low on mayonnaise, I go ahead and whip up a batch. So this week I did 2 of these jars, so we would have plenty. So we've got our mayonnaise and our soups, and like I say, I put in cream of potato and cream of chicken. It calls for cream of mushroom. So you do whatever you want. I just use what I have. So we're gonna add our eggs, and they're beaten. I diced up these onions. I hate that I didn't use my new chopper. You've got to see my new chopper that an unmet friend bought me. It's just habit that I have to do it in the food processor or by hand, and it was just 1 onion, so I did it by hand. I'm not the greatest chopper, so I really need that chopper. So I will show y'all that. She also sent me some Coke glasses. She knows me well, and some coasters, and I'll show that. Maybe at the end of the video, I'll show all that. So why not just now? So you know who you are. I thank you so very much. Coke glasses, Coke coasters, and a Vidalia chopper. Thank you so much. So we've got our mayonnaise, we've got our eggs, we've got our cream of chicken soup and our cream of potato soup. Like I say, use what you have. So here's our filling, and I'm just going to mix this together really, really good. Again, we have our oven preheated at 350. This is a quick casserole to pull together, and I really love it. I love the Ritz crackers on top too, if you have those, but I don't have them, and I'm using what I have. And this recipe does not actually call for any breadcrumbs or crackers on the top. So that's just something, you know, if you have it, it's good to add the Ritz crackers crumbled up with melted butter and put it in a Ziploc and smooth it around and put it on top, put your cheese on top. It's really good. I improvise. I use what I have. I'm trying my best not to go to the store. I'm trying to, wrong thing. I'm trying to do better about running to the store. So here, I don't have all my broccoli. I'm gonna cut the stems off. It's washed, but I don't have them broke up. So this calls for 3 10-ounce packs, and I'm doubling this recipe, so I'm probably gonna try to use most of this, and I'm gonna put some in the pan with the chicken if Sweet Hunter wants that. If not, we'll just use it another day in a different recipe. I haven't planted my fall garden yet. That's in the works. It's coming, but I'm real excited about that. Right now, when I cook something like this, like a casserole or something, I like to double it. And for us, doubling it will make usually 3 dishes. And if not, if I want one big one just for a day when I want to invite somebody over or somebody drops by and I can pull it out of the freezer, it really works good. I'm not a big batch cooker. Maybe one day I will be. I was when the kids were little. I feel like I'm going to go back to that a lot. I told Sweet Hunter, I said, we're stopping using paper towels as much, like for everyday napkins. We're not doing that anymore. I have cloth napkins that we can throw in the washer. We've all got to save money, right? I got cloth napkins. Some I made, some my mama had, and nothing fancy. It's stuff we can throw right in with the towels. You're washing towels anyway, and it's going to save a lot of money doing that. I am still using paper plates, but the last bunch was a gift, and paper bowls, and I really like using paper plates when it's just us and I don't want to wash a bunch of dishes or I haven't emptied my dishwasher. That's why when I get up in the mornings, I try my best to empty my dishwasher. I try to run it at night and empty it first thing, and then you have an empty dishwasher to work all day with. Let's see how this looks. I love fresh broccoli. Anytime you can use fresh instead of, you know, the frozen out of the store, it's just got more vitamins and stuff. Now, I freeze broccoli for the winter when I grow it. And I like frozen broccoli, but some of those like things that you steam out of the grocery store, I mean, it's convenient. I've used them, but it sure isn't as good as this. Let's see how that looks. Let's see, I can tell usually by looking at the broccoli and the filling. I'm not a big measuring person. And I honestly think that looks pretty good. So today what I'm doing is preparing our meal for today. We're going to spatchcock chicken with potatoes and carrots and a little bit of broccoli thrown in it. Maybe I may change my mind on that. I tend to do that sometimes. Okay, next I'm going to add our cheese mixture. And I don't know how much cheese. I think it calls for 8 ounces, and I just use what I have. I'll probably save this for the top right here, and I'm just gonna stir this cheese up. I grated my own just because I don't have shredded cheese. I used the shredded cheese in the broccoli and cheese soup, if you saw that video. I'll link all these videos that I'm referring to, the mayonnaise video, the broccoli and cheese, the bread. I'll link all 3 of those in this description box. This is looking good. Next, it calls for paprika. I have started putting my spices in jars where I can see it and label it. When Sweet Hunter goes to find something, he doesn't have to holler and say, "Val, where is it?" He probably still will. So this is sweet paprika and salt and pepper. And just mix all this up really good. I'm gonna make sure all that broccoli's covered. If you feel like it needs some more mayonnaise, if you feel like it needs another can of soup, you know, do it. It'll be fine. That's what cooking's all about. Using your heart instead of your eyes looking at a recipe. A recipe's great for a guide, but using your heart to measure by. I will put, you know, the original recipes in here. I think this is gonna fit in this glass pan, and I'm gonna pull that around here. And I might spray that just a little bit in the number 13. Don't that look good? You could throw some rice in here. Rice is a great filler. It helps make your food go a long way. Sweet Hunter loves rice in anything. So sometimes I'll do butter noodles, not inside this, but like to make a meal, just to space out our meal. They're easy. Sometimes when we're hungry, I might have some grilled chicken that he's grilled on the grill in the freezer, and I can make butter noodles. And I try to keep lots of pasta on hand. Butter noodles are great. I think that's gonna fit perfect. And I'm just gonna sprinkle more cheese on the top. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and get this in the oven. I want this to be pre-cooked. It's gonna take 45 minutes to an hour, maybe a little bit longer. I'm not sure because I did double the recipe. We'll see. I'll let you know. So while that broccoli casserole is cooking, I thought I'd go ahead and start on my vegetables to go with the chicken. So I've got carrots and potatoes and onions and the broccoli. And oh, I think I threw a little garlic in there. You can put anything you want with the chicken. So the good thing about doing big pieces of vegetables is whoever doesn't like certain things can just eat what they want. So here's our vegetables. So I'm just using what I have. I have carrots, fresh broccoli. I put 2 onions in there, and I put them whole potatoes, and I put about 8 garlic cloves in here. Now, whether Sweet Hunter does this with the chicken in the same pan or I roast them here, I'm going to go ahead and toss these with olive oil, salt, and pepper where they'll be ready in a bowl. And then we'll decide what we're going to do. And we'll show you at the end of this video what he decides to do with this. If he wants me to cook it all in here, I'll be glad to. And if not, if he wants to do it outside, I'm sure he'll enjoy that. It's a cool weather now, unless you wait till lunch. But so our dinner is done. So this will be lunch, a mid-lunch. We eat one big meal a day. And I've used a lot of my fresh veggies that need to be used. And in fact, I found one onion that had got soft and I threw it away. And if you noticed, I did put some of my peelings and things like that in the trash can just because I wasn't thinking, because my chickens don't eat potato peelings, they don't eat onions, but I do put it in the garden or the compost pile, so I'll probably dig that out to throw in the garden because I'm gonna go out there in a few minutes and cut okra. What I'll do is just put these fresh veggies in the bowl. I don't know if I told you earlier, but the leftovers of this would make a beautiful soup. Just add some spaghetti noodles to it and chop everything in. It's gonna be roasted, so it's gonna be soft to do that. And if you have enough left over, you can make chicken noodle soup so easy from the leftovers. So I'm just gonna pour this over this. Our casserole smells so good, and the reason I wanted that done is because I just want to be able to warm it up afterwards, because I'm going to be so busy with other things, and I'll show you that on another video. So we got broccoli, carrots, onions, and garlic, and I'll recheck my refrigerator to make sure I don't have anything that needs to be used. Today is the day to use it in this casserole, this spatchcock chicken that I'm doing. Whether you do it separately or in with the chicken, it would be delicious in with the chicken because it would roast in that broth that the chicken's gonna make, and that's what I'm hoping he'll do. But either way, it's gonna work out fine. Like I say, there's so many leftovers from a meal like this. This is big for us, where there's 2 or 3 people unless somebody drops by, and then you've got food for company, and you just pull it out and warm it up. So you could freeze what's left over. There's so many options. And so when I cook, I don't, like I told you before, I don't do the big batch cooking, but I do cook big when I cook most of the time, because I want to make 2 or 3 meals out of it for us, and that's where the freezer comes in. Talking about saving money, I really enjoyed my gloves. We bought these when we moved the last time, and these are not my favorite gloves, but I like having a bulk amount. I have some in my chicken feed room where I can wear them up there while I work up there, and then I use these a lot to where my hands won't get messy, and on video I don't have to wash my hands so much on the video, and I just feel like I don't get as messy. So all I'm doing is tossing all these in the olive oil with salt and pepper. That's all I'm doing. He may add more, I don't know, we'll see. So I've got our casserole in the oven. I've got our chicken pre-done, spatchcocked, ready to go. All he has to do is add any more spices he wants. I've got the roasted vegetables ready. I think that's all I'm gonna fix. I don't think you need any more. And then we got lots of leftovers we can do with this. I'm excited about that chicken noodle soup. This will be delicious. And unless somebody drops by, we should have plenty. Once the vegetables are roasted, you can chop them up real easy. They'll just fall apart. So that's ready. I'm gonna clean up my mess now. I am a messy cook, but I don't like a messy kitchen. And it does get messy during the process, but if you have your dishwasher empty and as you work, put it in there. I've been just putting my dishes in the sink. Now I'll go over there and load the dishwasher, and I do use my dishwasher now a lot. I used to hand wash everything, but you find out if you hand wash, it piles up. Sweet Hunter washes his coffee cup every morning. He don't put it in the dishwasher. So anyway, we're done with that until it's time to cook it, and we'll end the video to see what he's doing with this, okay? The advantage to steroids, not that I would want on them all the time, that's for sure. You got to have some rest. But the advantage, I don't require a lot of sleep. So the advantage to steroids is that being able to do a lot when it's quiet in the house. It's hard for me when the TVs are going or the kids are running. It's hard for me to not concentrate on them and do a video. So this works out really good. I may have to start getting up really early. Maybe I won't be in pajamas, But of course, pajamas is one of my favorite things. I've got our lunch done. I'm gonna cook our breakfast maybe about 10 or 11. He's got something sweet he's gonna eat, and then he'll get out and work for a while. He'll tell me what he's gonna do with this, and because this takes a while to cook. And I'm gonna go to the garden. I'm gonna try to cut the okra and pick most of the green tomatoes. Then after I get a shower and get dressed, I'll start my cowboy candy and try to get that done before tomorrow, because I'm gonna be gone, and then Sunday we like to rest, like I told you. So we're doing good so far, right? And it's fun. I love being with y'all. And it's beautiful, just beautiful. Look at that. So that's a broccoli casserole. I did add cheese on top. It looks so good. So I'll let this sit out and cool, and then I'll probably separate this into two. We'll eat one today and have one frozen. Don't that look good?
Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? Well, I got up this morning and look what Val's got prepared for me. Check that out. So we got a chicken laid out with carrots, broccoli, potatoes, onions. And I'm gonna put it on the pit boss over here and let it smoke for a couple hours. That's one of our favorite ways to cook the chicken. So we're gonna put her on and give it a couple hours and see how it comes out. So I've had the pit boss warming up. I think I had it on 350, and I'm gonna put this on, and I think I'm gonna cut it down to about 300 and let it cook a couple hours while I get out here and mow. Yeah, all we did to get this ready is to put olive oil on it, salt and pepper. And we'll come out here in about 30 minutes and check it out. And right now I've got it set on 300, so we're gonna leave it there and see how it goes.
The spatchcock chicken, sweet hunter smoked on the grill. It's got carrots, broccoli, and onions and potatoes along with the chicken. Here's the broccoli casserole. We've already been down to it. It's very good. I hope y'all try both of these. They're so good. Y'all go cook something.